Hey, what's up guys? And welcome to this first resource pack tutorial. In today's video we are going over animated textures. If you are one of my Patreons, you can download this pack. I will send a link in Discord. In my inventory we have all the different emerald blocks, and I have them put down right over here as well. We are going to animate these blocks, and not in a way that you think. Maybe we are going to make them rainbow colored. So the emerald block is going to change color every so often. Well, actually all the time. So what do we need for this? Well, first of all, Minecraft, a resource pack. I want to show you this really quickly. This is a tutorial pack. And we have a pack.mcmeta. This is where this is what you need to make your pack show up in Minecraft, and an assets folder. And this one can go because that is wrong stuff. And then we have a Minecraft folder, a textures folder, and a blocks folder. And that is where all of this is in. This one should actually not be in here. This one should be in the items folder. So let's move that to the items folder. So now we have everything we need. Let's put this one in Photoshop as well. So now we have everything here in Photoshop because I already opened the rest. And we can work on this. Another thing that we don't necessarily need, but it is easier to do it this way, is this little program right here. This is the animation creator, which is created by Mr. Crayfish, and you can easily upload your images into here and then export them. So we are going to use that today to make our animated texture. So I'm using Photoshop. If you are not using Photoshop, then you can do it in a different way, probably with any other software that you're using. But I'm going to show you how to do it with Photoshop. So first, let's do the emerald ore. And we need all of these emeralds to be changed or to be in a separate layer. So we are going to select all of them really quickly. It is not that hard to do. And then press Ctrl or Command J. Now we have them on a separate layer. We still have them back here on this one, but now we can change the color of it. So the easiest way to do this is to use the timeline and create a video timeline. If you don't have this set up, you can go to Window and click Timeline. But we don't want a video timeline. No, we want a frame timeline. And you can get that by clicking on these three squares over here. Now you see one frame, and we need to set it to no delay. That is for exporting it later. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to make copies of this layer to make them different colors. So we are going to make 7 copies. Here we have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Only make the bottom one visible and press Ctrl or Command U to go to Hue and Saturation. And we are going to make this first one red. Now we're going to show the second one, and we're going to make it orange. And so on for all of the other ones. This one we're going to make yellow. The next one already is green. So this next one is going to be a light color of blue. Then the next one is going to be a darker color of blue, more looking like a sapphire, basically. And then this last one is going to look purple. And now we want to only show the bottom one on this first layer, or this first frame. Then we can click on a new frame, and we can highlight the next one. And keep doing this until we have all of them highlighted. Now we have 7 frames, And if we would play this, you would see that it would change. This is not what we want to do. No, we want to make it more smooth. In Photoshop, there is an easy way to do this. Just highlight the first 2 frames and click on this little thing next to the new frame button. And you can make a tween with this. Now we want to add 5 frames to make it smooth. So as you see now, there's a frame that adds just a little bit extra each time. And it does this by adding the extra layer, the second layer, with an opacity on it. So now we have this one. This is our yellow layer that we created. And what we want to do with that is do exactly the same with the yellow and the orange and the yellow one. I keep saying yellow. Do the exact same thing and keep doing this until you are at the purple one. That is not what we wanted to do. We want to do this and this. You will get a lot of frames, but that does not matter too much because that is what we kind of want to do. So now we have this animation, but it is going back from purple to red in one go. So we will need to add 1 more frame at the end and make sure that none of these are visible. So now we have the red frame again. And what we need to do again is click on the purple one and on the red one that we just created and do the same thing again. And now you can delete the last frame because that is a frame that we already had with the previous one. Now these last ones look kind of weird. And that is because it did add the same opacity to all the other colors that were highlighted before. So we need to go over all of these frames and just go over and put them out. Unhighlight them. Now you won't see those underneath and it won't show up as a weirdish color. If we play it now, you will see that we have an awesome animation that we can export. So this is our first one. The easiest way to export this is to go to File, Export, Render Video. Now we wait until this comes up. Here we are. And what you want to do is set it, instead of Adobe Media Encoder, to Photoshop Image Sequence and set it to PNG. You can play with the file name here to make it have a couple of numbers behind it. This is what we want. I put it to 02. It doesn't really matter what you need, but we are going to call it 0 because that is the easiest way of redoing this. Now we're going to select a folder. I'm going to my desktop and I'm going to make a folder called Emerald Ore. This is just the easiest way to find them later. And now render. Now if we go to this folder, you will see that we have all of the images separately. It is in total 42 images because we start at 000. Now we want to use the animation creator. And we want to load images. Now go to the desktop, go to Emerald Ore, select all of them and open them in there. Now you see we have this animation in our animation creator. And we can export it because it's a 16 by 16 texture. If you were to change it to another texture, maybe you're using the Faithful texture or another texture that is bigger, you need to put it on the right size. Now we're going to desktop again. into emerald ore and call this emerald underscore ore and save. You can close the program now, since it's easier to just close it and reopen it for the next one. Now in emerald ore, you will find a file called emerald ore with all of the ores underneath them. You could do this manually, but this is just way easier and way faster. And you will see an emeraldore.png.mcmeta. Now open this up and you will see that we have an animation and a frame time. And the frame time is set to 1. If you want to make this animation slower, you can put the frame time to 2 or to 3 or 4 or to how slow you want it to be. Now we are going to keep it at 1. And we are going to copy this into our blocks folder. And we're going to replace it. So now, if we reload the textures, which is F3T, you will see that our emerald ore will be animated. And here we are. Now we have our animated texture. Now we can do this with items as well. This works the exact same way. So let me make the item and the emerald block, and I will be back with you. All right, so here you see that we have an animated emerald ore, emerald block, and emerald. So now it's done. And let's take a look at what happens if we change the frame time in the animation. So now we change it to 2, save it, and now we can reload our textures and take a look at it. So now it should, or the emerald ore should not be in sync with the other two, as you see right here. And that does not look too bad. So I think I am going to change it for all of them because they are going quite fast. So we are going to change it in here as well. Make that 2. And keep in mind that for me at least, the animation creator does not take this in context. You will have to change this afterwards. You can change this in the animation creator, but for me it never works. It never exports with the right frame time. But if we reload our textures again, they should all be similar now. I like this color. That's really majestic. And there we go. Now they're going at the same speed again. And you could use this for building if you wanted to. It's maybe a bit too much, but it could be cool for certain custom maps or something where you want a block to be different. This is the end. I hope you enjoyed this resource pack tutorial, and I hope you learned a lot from it. If not, tell me in the comments below. If you have any questions, just ask them, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out these 2 videos as well. And if you want to see more videos, please subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button. I hope to see you next time.